Hello lifestylers and welcome to Lifestyle with Latasha. Well, in today's video, you're going to get to see me decorate my kitchen for Thanksgiving, but I'm also going to be doing something that's a little extra special where I'm going to be doing a recipe for chicken pot pie that my family absolutely loves. And so I'm going to have you be a part of it as I prepare that meal for my family. And I hope that it's something that you enjoy and that you'll try on your own. And of course, if you do, please let me know down below in the comments because I would love to know how it turned out for you. But this is just a staple, one of the things that we like to eat in the fall. And so I'm really excited to prepare it for my family. Like I said, my daughter saw that I was actually going to be making this in a couple of days, and she told me yesterday that she came downstairs and thought she actually smelled it cooking. So they really do enjoy it. I normally make this with some basic ingredients that everyone typically has in their kitchen. So it's something that's really easy. It's really quick, and you can make it to last for a couple of days, or you can make it for one serving, just however you want to. I'm going to show you the way that I do it, which is we make it for at least 2 days, maybe 3, depending upon how hungry everyone is. But I make it in 2 casserole dishes. That way we'll have some for the next day. And honestly, we enjoy it better the second day than we do the first. However, I'm going to show you how we do it. I'm going to, just go over everything. And then as far as the recipe goes, I will put all the ingredients that you could use down below. So that way you can have it and follow along and do however you want to do it. Of course, this is my take on it. However you choose to do, you can put your own twist on it. I would absolutely love to hear what you tried. If this is something that you're interested in, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell because that will let you know whenever we post something on this channel. In the meantime, let's get started. Well, all right, what we're going to do is we're going to start out with the ingredients to season the chicken. Of course, the chicken is the base of the chicken pot pie. So what we took were some chicken breasts and we cubed them and made them into bite size. I put some seasoned thyme in there. I'm going to put some garlic powder, some black pepper, some crushed red pepper to give it just a little bit of kick. Of course, you could adjust that if you choose to. I also am going to put in some seasoned salt into the chicken, and then I am going to simply cook this on the stovetop. The thing about it is that you want to cook the chicken this way. I've seen people that have boiled the chicken before putting in the pot pie. I'm gonna be honest, I've tried it that way, and to me it just literally loses all flavor of the chicken, so I choose not to do it that way. Another season that you could consider is you could put Better Than Bouillon, I think is the name of it, and it's like a bouillon cube that's in a jar. You could do that. You could actually use the bouillon cube. You could use chicken seasoning, anything that's going to enhance that chicken flavor. You also a little bit of parsley in there, and all of those ingredients are just perfect. If this is something that you think you would enjoy, please hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and definitely leave your comments down below. So at this point, we've got the chicken all completed. I am going to take some basic ingredients that we have in the house. My pan casserole dish has already been sprayed. I'm going to put in a can of green beans. It makes that 2 cans of mixed vegetables, a can of green beans, and then I'm going to take cream of chicken soup and I'm going to pour it all into the casserole dish. After I get it all poured into the casserole dish, I'm going to take milk. Basic 2% milk is what we typically use. And I'm going to pour it into those ingredients in the casserole dish. And as you can see here, it has gotten to a good loose consistency. That is what we prefer. I like it to be a little bit more juicier, simply because we like to be able to have that juice when we eat it for dinner. Now, I'm going to take the chicken that I've already seasoned and I'm going to add it into the mixture of the soup, the mixed vegetables, and the milk. And I'm just going to add it all in there. And I'm going to actually include some of that juice from where the chicken was cooking because that was full of seasoning. As far as the casserole dish goes now, I'm going to take Pillsbury crust. that is frozen. You can get them at any local grocery store. I'm gonna wash my hands and get ready. But I'm gonna take this crust and I'm simply gonna unroll it and begin to place it onto the casserole dish. And how I choose to do that is I will use a pizza cutter after I unroll this. That actually allows me to be able to get a nicer cut, and I don't have to play around with it that much. I simply roll it out on my cutting board. I'll take that pizza cutter and I'll gauge it about where I think it needs to be as far as width of the pan. So now I'm going to take this and I'm simply going to lay it on top of the mixture that is in the casserole dish. Now, for what is uncovered, as you can see, that's not a perfectly round. Now, here's a suggestion. If you have a round casserole dish that is the size of a pie crust, you could definitely use that. I choose to use these casserole dishes simply because they are thicker and they allow me to make the size that I need for how long I want it to last. So I'm okay with cutting and adjusting and making it work. But if you wanted to do something and make it really pretty, you could definitely use a casserole dish that was round in that shape. See me doing here is I am literally just cutting the crust and I'm covering all of the areas that are exposed. The reason I try to do this is because when this gets hot as it's cooking in your oven, which let me say this, the oven is already preset to 375 degrees on bake. And so as it begins to cook, it will begin to boil. Putting the crust all the way around keeps that from overflowing and messing up your oven and, just making a complete mess in your stove. So now here, I'm going to take it. I've already preheated my oven and I'm going to place it into the oven. And I'm going to let it cook from anywhere from about 45 minutes to an hour. And here it is. As you can see, the crust is perfect. It's all done. And as you can see, it is bubbling hot. So I'm going to let this sit for just a few minutes just to cool off a little bit and let all the ingredients kind of mix together. And just to let it cool off to give my palate a little bit of a break. So check back with me in a second. Okay, so now we've let it cool off a little bit. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to sneak a little taste before my family come down and realizes that I've finished cooking this. So typically what I do is I'll serve it with some plain white rice, or we'll do brown rice. My husband is on a health kick, so he's really into the brown rice, but he likes to splurge every now and then, so this is gonna be our little treat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take a serving spoon and I'm just gonna cut into that. And the reason I left it as juicy is because we really love to have the juice from the pot pie. Can you see that? Yeah. So then what we do is we go back in and we scoop all of that goodness out. And we just put it around the serving. Now, this is the perfect meal if you're having some coldness outside and some rain and you just want something that's really, really tasty and hearty, and this is definitely that. The crust is really flaky, so you've got the contrast of that with the juice. You've got the rice, which gives it a little bit of the heartiness. And then, of course, you got the vegetables. So as every cook tries their own recipe before they feed it to their family, I'm gonna give this a quick taste. So let's see what it tastes like. Well, I guess dinner is served. Thanks for joining. Till the next one. See you later. Bye. All right, moving right along. We're going to decorate and clean the kitchen just in time for Thanksgiving. And I'm going to start out with a little bit of prep for my kitchen countertops. So this product I am so in love with. This is one of the best products that I've ever tried that really works in getting my countertops sparkling clean. and full of luster. This is called Rejuvenate, and it actually comes with that sponge that you saw me hold up that is two-sided. On one side, you have a sponge that you actually utilize the product on first to get your countertops clean. That works for quartz, for granite, for any of those stone countertops that you may have. And so you start with the sponge and you actually just go in a circular motion and you clean off all the things that could be on your countertops. Now, I don't know if you guys or if this happens in your household, but a lot of times we can go through with our dishcloth and actually clean the countertops after doing dishes or dinner or whatever. And you can come back and literally see that there's still spots on there. This will eliminate that. This is not a sponsored video. However, it is just a video of me showing you a product that really and truly works. So after you've cleaned it, then you turn the sponge over, and on that terry cloth side, it literally will buff out your countertops. You kind of have to make sure that you stay in a system to make sure that you don't miss any space. So another thing too is that you want to also make sure that you take care of the sides of your countertops, because sometimes that's kind of easy to forget. And so you just want to make sure that you clean that with the sponge side and then buff it out with the terry cloth side as well. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a little snapshot of why I love this product. Can you see that? This is on the right side, the part that is not complete, and on the left side of what has been done. It actually looks like it's wet. It is not. It is completely dry, and it is perfect. So now, of course, I'm going to give you an overview of what the kitchen looks like. I have cleaned all of the countertops. They look amazing. That product can actually be used on the backsplash, and I used it on my cooktop because it makes my cooktop shine like nothing I've ever tried before. So as you can see, all of the areas around the kitchen have already been cleaned. These are the items that I'm going to be utilizing for decor-wise around the kitchen to decorate. As you can see, we've got the pumpkin still there. I've got my florals. I've got my picks. I've got some deer. I've got a large cutting board that I'm going to utilize on the countertop in the center of the island. Candles, my hot chocolate cups, and just a whole assortment of different decor items that I'm just going to utilize around the kitchen to get it ready for Thanksgiving and create that fall cozy vibe. If this is your first time on my channel, I want to thank you for joining me today. And of course, we're going to be doing home decor, some real estate, family, faith, friends. And if this is something that you're interested in, please hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. I would love for you to be a part of Lifestyle with Latasha. And always, as you see, my best bud is always right at my heels. That's my Bailey that's down there. He's always going to be a part of the videos that I have going on. So always say hello to Bailey. And I want to thank you all for being here. And this is going to be my inspiration. As I talked about in an earlier video that I did this year, I chose to go with more neutral and soft palette colors, more so than the traditional dark fall colors. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to start out and I'm going to set up our eating kitchen area. We do use our table all the time. And so this is something that we do every night. We actually set up at the table. We do a full place setting, and we just really enjoy sitting down and having conversation about what our days look like. And so what you're seeing me do now is I'm going to be putting a set of chargers down. I chose to go with the wood grain that keeps in line with the fall colors. I'm going to be using some basic white plates that do have trim. And you'll notice these plates, exact plates that I utilized in my fall tablescape. And so if you want to get a closer look at those, you could definitely check out that video, and it will show you all of the elements that I'm going to be using. I decided to mirror what I did for that tablescape in my kitchen just to keep it simple. And these are the pumpkin plates that I got. And then here is my stemware. So, in keeping with the theme, I decided to bring in those pops of color to bring into the tablescape in the eating kitchen area. I definitely wanted to keep it neutral. However, I also wanted to utilize what I have. And so sometimes when you're decorating your home and you're wanting to create different vibes and add in different elements into your decor, shop around with what you already have. Utilize it to your best ability and let it be that. I'm going to add in a planter that has a faux plant here in the center. And the reason I'm going to keep it simple with that, not add a lot of frou-frou or fluff to the center of the table, is because, as I said before, we utilize our table often. So now I'm going to move over to my hot chocolate station. And as you all know, if you've been here before, hot chocolate is our go to comfort beverage. So, what you're seeing me do now is that portrait that you see in that picture frame. I actually got those from Amazon. It was like a package of 12, and I'll link them down below. Now I'm going to put in some mugs for our hot chocolate station. And honestly, I'll change them out based on the decor. So I'm going with some off-white ones here now. I have the black ones that I've utilized before. And of course, for Christmas, we use our Santa Claus ones. This is a tea. We also drink hot tea. My husband tends to drink it late into the evening. And so I put it there, and the color was perfect. I did a marble tray I already had in that space. And then I'm just going to add in some little decor pieces with some little birds and a little pumpkin. Now, as I was getting ready for fall, I went and did a shopping haul from the At Home store, and I bought these stems from At Home, and I thought they were so whimsical. And then I was in Kroger, my local Kroger store, and I came across these two sets of pumpkin and gourds, and I absolutely thought they were perfect to go onto my hot chocolate station. What I really love about those pumpkins and gourds is that they actually light up. So with those, these funny looking stems that are kind of whimsical, the little birds, I thought it just created a cute little mood in my hot chocolate station. Of course, we always have our correct in place and ready to go. We get a lot of wear out of it, but that's my hot chocolate station. So now we're going to move over to the countertop where my cooktop is. And so we're just going to place a few items here. Our kitchen is active. We are cooking in it quite often. So I won't do a overage of decor items, but I do utilize some things just to create that mood and that vibe in my kitchen. Of course, I've got to have my cutlery set that I have to use often. I'm going to bring in my oil and vinegar set, which is a staple on my counter. I keep that there all the time. And then this is something that I found that I just thought was perfect from Aldi. This is a pumpkin cutting board. Is it not adorable? It is so cute. And when I saw it, I think it was like $9.99. I had to get it. And then if you saw my video from my at home shopping haul, I got this leaf and I thought it was just a perfect little piece to add onto the back of my countertop. Gotta always have our utensils. I'm going to go ahead and decorate with them because they're a part of our everyday life. Here is another portrait that I actually got from Amazon that was a part of that package. And what I did was I searched for fall pictures and this came up and they were 8x10s. I had some frames that I utilized. I shopped my home. These are some jars that I've had around the house, and I'm going to add in some beads just to create a little look over there, a vignette space on that countertop. And then the final thing that I'm going to bring in, of course, is a candle and a deer that I've had for quite a few years. And I thought it was a perfect little touch to add into that space. Okay, you've seen this space before in other videos that I've done. I'm just going to decorate. This is basically a table that I just brought in. It's the perfect size for this space. It allows me to be able to store some items to, kind of add in some decor under my TV space. Allowing it not to be completely blank. At some point, I'm probably going to switch it out and maybe move something else into that space. But for right now, we're just going to decorate it and keep it moving. Once again, this is one of those 12 pictures that came from Amazon. And so I had this frame and I decided to bring it into the kitchen area. This leaf I've had for quite a few years. I got it from Kirkland's a few years back. Not sure if they still have that, but I use that most often to store my remotes for the TV. But today I'm going to add in a candle and a pine cone that I absolutely love. This is the matching deer to the one that I put on the counter. So I'm just going to sit him down there with a sign that always reminds how we need to be thankful of all the blessings that we get every day. So here we have that oversized cutting board. Because my island is of such a large size, it allows me to kind of fill that space. This is just a small boxwood or wreath that I actually had in my arsenal of decor items. I'm going to use it to put on this amazingly wonderful smelling candle that I got from Big Lots. This is the third piece to those decanters that were over there on the other island. I'm going to utilize it for those florals, my neutral colors. They look so amazing on this counter, and it's just such a pretty color. And the great thing about that is I actually bought these for fall, but I love the color so much that I could see myself being able to utilize them in the spring or the summer. I'm going to bring in a pumpkin just to add in some more of that fall vibe in this space. And then I'm just going to put on one of my dishcloths that I got. I just went with a neutral color. And then I'm going to move the pumpkin that I had put over on the hot chocolate station because I felt like I got a little bit too much going on over there. And I just brought it over here. I'm going to light this candle and get that aroma going throughout my house. And guys, when I tell you, I know a lot of the Big Lots stores are closing, but if you could go to Big Lots and get one of these candles before they get gone, do it now. You'll be grateful. The last thing that I'm going to do in my kitchen is I'm going to set up the two spaces at the end of the bar. It's just going to mirror what I've already done on the eat-in kitchen. And so it will look exactly the same. Well, there you have it, guys. That's all the spaces that I typically decorate in my kitchen, completely done. And when I tell you, I love it. A lot of these items you saw me post on a previous video that I got from the at-home store. There are some items that I stumbled across, like this pumpkin from the Aldi store that was $9.99. I've shopped my own home. These are deer and candles that I already had, but I found these fall pictures on Amazon, so I grabbed those. So that just goes to show you that you could have such a mixture of different things that you could do in your home to create your own space, however you choose to. I love doing this. I love having fun with it. And I felt really good because as I had decorated this and got it all set up for this video, my son came in late that evening and he said, wow, he said, the kitchen really looks nice. So that made me feel really proud and made me feel really good that my youngest son, who's not really vocal was really impressed with the way that it looked. So that told me I was on the right path to doing something just right. So anyway, as you are enjoying this video, as I hope that you are, please hit that like button and let me know what your thoughts are in your comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel because I would love for you to come back and see what we're doing always here at Lifestyle with Latasha. And just to add something else into this little corner of our eating kitchen, I was able to grab one of my wreaths from basement as well, and I put it up here just to add in another little extra depth in that corner, in that space. But once again, thank you for joining me today. I enjoy meeting you guys and talking to you guys, and I also love hearing about the things that you enjoy most about what we're doing in our home. We love it. We appreciate it. We're grateful to be here, and I'm grateful for you. So thank you so much, and I hope that you all have an amazing Thanksgiving. Have some good food. Don't overeat, but enjoy your family and your friends and make the best of everything that you do. Take care, and happy Thanksgiving, guys. Bye.